YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So, guys, I want to go ahead and show you a gameplay of me actually dropping a game against an opponent, a really good opponent. I think this guy was ranked in the top 500 when I played him. A little bit over 1,000 games, I believe. So this guy was a really good player, and what made this guy unique is that he really knew how to take advantage of my user. He played a couple of, he hit me with a bunch of, good base plays, and I made 2 mistakes on offense that basically were one mistake on offense and another mistake, or he just got like a very lucky fumble, where it became a situation where I got behind by 2 scores, and because he was so effective on offense, it was hard for me to stay up with this guy. So let's just go and jump into this gameplay. He's rolling with the Eagles. I'm using 49ers as my team. Basically I use match coverage. Now what's cool about match coverage is that, as long as EA doesn't go in and destroy it, make the matching principles broken, you can use match coverage in the next game, just because it's a fundamental NFL concept. So if you understand your match responsibilities, you can jump into a game and be an effective defender right away based on reading coverages. So I'm seeing basically 3 wide receivers over here off the left. So I've got basically a box situation over here. And typically when I see this type of stuff, I'll match this guy up. And I'll user this guy down in the box looking to try to shoot a gap for any kind of a run. And if one of these guys carries over, I'll go ahead and pick up any guy that carries over the middle of the field. But look what he does with me. I've got this basically man coverage set up. I've also dropped another guy out here just to kind of take away any kind of smoke route or quick out route. And he dials me up with a wheel. And I'm completely out of position because I'm trying to match with these guys over here. And he dials me up and just hits me with a wheel route with Swift, and he gets past my one defender and actually gets the ball into the end zone. So he hits me with a 1-play touchdown. Perfect play call, perfect read against the defense I was running. So when you get those type of situations in the first game play, it's a really good situation. Now you can see the score. I'm up 14-7. This is the second series. And I think what it did is I might have jumped into, cover 6 once again. He comes down, runs off tackle. My responsibility is to fill the gap, and I go inside. And basically he goes ahead and takes it to the outside and picks up 5 yards out of something that probably should have been basically stopped. Now he goes into pistol trips. In pistol trips, basically, I think I jumped into cover 9 and I dropped the zone out here. And you can see with pistol trips, you basically got, these wide receivers that can do a combination of different routes right here. But look, you've got, what's potential with this? You've got maybe a wheel, and then you've got this tight end that can actually come in or do a crossing route, or basically can do a corner route. And I've got basically some type of a cloud coverage over here, or someone who can fall back into a cloud. So I can user this guy, and really my primary responsibility more than anything else is to watch the tight end and try to defend anything going over the middle or on a corner route, and I can come down and play basically a run fit in this type of situation. So that was how I think I set up the defense. I did shift my line off to the right. He runs to the opposite side. This is like a sweep, so you can see this guy pulling out. This guard is also pulling out. But he's got 1 blocker to basically 3 defenders because I'm playing down to the box. He's going to have really nowhere to go. Blocker does not pick up the biggest threat, which is Bosa or my tight end, and I'm able to go ahead and get him. And I jumped into cover 4 palms in that type of situation just because I didn't really know what to do. Now he goes into empty. A lot of times in empty, what I'll do is I'm going to put these guys into deep thirds and basically user this guy down here. And my responsibility is to match this wide receiver on that type of situation. The threat I have too against him is that he's got a good scrambling quarterback. You can see I'm matching, and basically hits this corner out. Look at this catch. He gets an ag catch right in front of my defender. I don't make a play against the ball. He gets a first down. So what this guy was doing too is he was getting away with a lot of crazy ag catches. So he made a couple of bad reads and throws, but because he was doing aggressive catch animations, he was actually knocking the ball down and not getting penalized with any kind of an interception. So there was a couple bad. You'll see a couple bad throws right here. Just a little off tackle. You gotta love it. You gotta really appreciate someone that really blends in the run into their scheme. They just don't do strictly passing, or they just don't are you know, do kind of a combination of the stuff. So he was willing to go ahead and do this, do the run against me. So now I know he's got an off tackle opportunity for a route. So that's why I slide my guys over. I've got these guys manned up on the back side, and my responsibility to shoot the gap if he tries to get in. I don't remember. He actually does a little angle route right here, and he actually throws over the top. This is a bad read, but look how he's on. He clicked onto his guy right here, and he's trying to ag catch it, and I don't get the interception. He basically knocks the ball out. So whatever he was doing with his user, he was ag catching a lot of stuff, and he was making plays or knocking the ball out. That could potentially be an interception. Based on it. So now I go ahead and I do one of the first times I go ahead and do an aggressive blitz, and this is when he would dial me up and just basically abuse me. Anytime I came into a cover 3, he basically go ahead and abuse me on this. Really good read and patience right here. So you see the hole right here. He's got the blocking. I'm expecting him to run in, and what I do is I over pursue to fill the gap, and look what he does. Cuts it back behind me out of the cap and actually picks a nice little juke. So just really good gameplay, you know, just good decision making, you know, getting me out of position, seeing the hole. So now I see tight formation. Anytime I see tight, I usually jump into cover 3, just because I'm expecting some type of a mesh concept, maybe a corner or streak, or in a, you know, a spot and then a wheel. And I find that cover 3 with this guy dropping back essentially is going to be good against mesh. Look what happens. He's got the outside receiver. This guy kind of sticks. He carries, and this guy's following up, but he's out of position because he's got to watch these guys crossing, and he just throws the ball right over me, dots me up for a touchdown right into the back of the end zone. So really good play. He's going to come back to that play previously. This is one of the bad decisions I made. Right here, I actually got an interception. I like the read. He was off coverage. I saw a man read, but his defender actually came down and actually played it perfectly. So it was not something expected. So he got the ball down. That was the only offensive mistake I made, and it was basically gonna haunt me for pretty much the rest of the game. He dots me up right here. That was actually, there was a guy there. He actually catches it. He was coming down with everything. Everything was throwing that he was throwing. His guys were coming down with. That could have been a situation where it should have been basically interception, or you know, that should have been interception. That type of situation. I had a guy that was floating in that zone. Does a little off tackle run right there. I think it was a read option. Yeah, and basically my guy shot the gap. Now he goes into a 5 wide situation. So I think I started scrambling, and I don't really know what I was looking to do. I'm running out of time. I'm looking for like a cover 2 type shell, and I end up getting stuck with basically a man blitz. So I'm completely out of position. I should have called a timeout in this situation, but I wanted to save my timeouts for a quick score. So ended up going up and scoring another touchdown. So you could see this. We're exchanging scores because his defense. He was a good defender, good user defender, but his shells are pretty generic, and I was able to go ahead and abuse him on that. So he's got 24 seconds left. He's got basically 1 timeout because I was trying to burn some of his clock right there. I go into cover 4 palms, and he takes off this quarterback, and look at the run he gets. He gets a really good block by his team and gets the ball out of bounds. That was a huge play. Monster play right there. To get the ball down a little bit further, so he needs about 10 yards to get into a manageable coverage right here. So I jump once again into, I think, cover 4 palms, and right here I'm just kind of watching middle of the field, and because I didn't drop my one guy back into the zone, which I typically do against cover 4 palms, this little vertical route was open to him. And that was just because I didn't set it up, and I just didn't set it up correctly. I was labbing cover 4 palms earlier, and usually I'm jumping onto a secondary player, and he just hit me. Like, this guy was making some really ice cold, really good decisions, and I wasn't setting up my defense. So now you can see in this type of situation, he's got trip situation. I'm putting that hard flat out there to take that away. He needs, you know, he's basically in kind of field goal range, but if he picks up any bonus yards, it's going to make it a little bit easier for him. So I'm carrying right here. I've got a spy out because he's actually around with the quarterback, and this is probably one of the worst throws right here. This should be picked off, but because he was getting some type of these crazy ag animations, he was knocking balls out. That should have been an interception. That was the worst, one of the worst throws. And right here, he basically dials me up with a long field goal. So I think this is like, what, a 53, 54 yarder? Yeah, it was a 55 yarder. So he actually dials me up on that. So now I jump in. I'm on defense once again. He actually gets the ball in the second half. So he's in the driver's seat. If he scores one more time, I'm going to be down by 2 possessions. So I need to basically make sure I stop him. Right here, I don't know what he was doing. Once again, another bad play. Look what he does with A.J. Brown. He gets this ag animation. He just takes away the ball from me for an interception. That should have been a pickoff. Definitely should have been pickoff. So he goes into a heavier set. He's in a wing set. I should be sliding this line over the left. I haven't looked at this gameplay in a while. So I should be going off the left. He actually does a run play, but I'm able to go ahead and jump the gap in that type of situation and put him into a 3rd and 10. So he had one bad play, 3rd and 10 situation against me. Right here, split offset formation, and I think I dialed up a blitz against him. And right here, I got to go ahead and take away that crosser over the middle of the field. He had the guy underneath the throw to, but he actually chucks it up over the top. Another dropped interception. So this is killing me against this guy. This is a guy that I had a lot of drop picks. He was really good on offense, but there was a lot of bad plays he made too. So right here, I jump into basically just an outright type coverage. I'm going to just drop everybody back to the sticks. He tries throwing the ball in, and look at the ag animation. So he just kind of throws it into the middle, and you can see right here I've been able to pop it out. And he actually stalls me out on offense. I actually have to settle. Instead of going up, I've got to settle 24-24. Based on the way this game was going, I just needed, I had to tie the game up and make it a legitimate game because I didn't want to go ahead and not give up, not have any points on it. So he's back to the same play we did previously that he used in the first play of the game. So you could see right here, I left this guy into a deep zone. I don't want any kind of matching concept. So if this guy does wheel up, I got matched. So I think I had him in a deep 3rd off the left. I dropped this guy into coverage to kind of like any kind of a combination where maybe a guy is streaking and this guy's sticking right here. I wanted to take away that fast route. And you can see he's got the wheel set up, but I've got matching principles with the wheel, and he's got crossing routes over the middle. And right here actually goes ahead and throws another bad ball up there. So he would dial up plays, but he also, when the play wasn't locked up, he wouldn't dial it up correctly. So he actually gets the illegal pass down the field, giving me a situation where I'm thinking, okay, now I can really get back into this game. So basically 2nd and 15 situation, loses yardage. He dials me up back again, once again with a tight formation. And typically in a tight formation, I'm going to go ahead and have, kind of a seam flap. But I decided in this type of situation, I'm going to go ahead and dial this guy up a blitz. So if he pulls this guy out, someone's going to get in his face. He's not going to be able to wait for anything to go ahead and do that. So right here, I've got the blitz set up. He does a play action, and this lineman picks up 2 guys. So this line basically sets up everything perfectly, and he's able to go ahead and dial me over the top of the field with a deep post because I got no pressure on him. It was basically it. So it's a good play, man, but it's one of those situations where you give up, you give up a score, and it's really frustrating. So I'm on a 1st and 10 down here, getting into the red zone, trying to go ahead and try to keep this game close, and he gets this animation. So he basically gets a fumble animation, which is so frustrating because there's really nothing you can do protect against fumbles. And right here, Riddick is actually able to go ahead and take this ball to the house, putting me down by 2 scores against this guy. I've been serious. He's getting a bunch of big plays against me. It's not like he's like methodically moving the ball against me. It's like he's getting these big splash plays. So I actually go ahead and score once again. I go for a 2-point conversion, which I successfully get. So if I get one more stop against this guy, I have an opportunity to go ahead and win the game with another score. So I jump into basically cover 2 match here against his first down, and you can see he actually tries to pop that route right over the middle of the field. So he's used that play before in numerous situations where he pops a seam, and I think I inadvertently jumped into cover 2 drop as a coverage, which threw him off a little bit. So he went into a bunch switch, and he streaked up that one guy and just tried to pop the seam. And because I had that coverage set up, it kind of threw him off a little bit. So now I'm going ahead and seeing if I can hit him with the meta stuff. So I'm in the seam play, which really isn't that great against this type of formation. So he's got a heavy formation. He's got 2 tight ends. I think he's got 2 wide receivers off to the left, and then he's going to go ahead and try to run. I think I've got this guy matched up, and my responsibility is to jump onto this guy and do this. I don't use dollar a lot. I know it's got some glitchy blitzes, but it's not my primary formation. I like to go ahead and use stuff. But you can see the blocker actually picks us up, and he's got a free pass or running lane down here. This guy's coming down. I should have probably dropped him down to the box with this offensive setup, and you can see he's able to go ahead and fall forward for an 8-yard gainer. So now I'm in a situation where it's 3rd and 2nd, and he's basically chewing the clock against me, and you can see I took a timeout because I knew he was going to take us down to a 2-minute warning. So I jump into basically over again. He's in a spread formation, and I think I dialed him up with another blitz. Just because if he runs the ball, I want to get guys down in the backfield. And look at the adjustment he does. So he does an adjustment where these guys offset down, they come up, he offsets down, he comes up. So he saw something with my alignment, maybe anticipated a blitz, and he hits me with just a little clear out concept with a wheel underneath. That's my responsibility. I'm just out leveraged. Really, really smart decision. Now, that was probably one of the smartest decisions he made, and after that happened, basically, I'm in a situation now where I just don't have enough time. He's up by 6 points. Tight flex, back into the cover 6 once again, and just out of habit, I think what I did is I jumped into basically cover 3. You can see this guy coming down. He's got a crossing concept. I think he's got an out concept, but what happens is he streaks me, gets me out of position. This guy gets his back turned around, so somehow he's running this play. It's getting this guy passed around, and he's not in position to play this ball. So you're going to see what's going to happen. I come down and play the crossing route, because he's got like a crossing route here. You see he's got a little wheel route, a streak, and then he's got a higher streak above it. So he's putting a lot of stress on this side of the field, and because I'm playing cover 3, there's no matching concepts. He just pops me right over the middle of the field. You can see he actually pulled off and then turned again because he had to actually have to match with this guy. That was my responsibility over the middle of the field. You can see he just checks it down to the end zone, and that's pretty much the game right there. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for support. I really appreciate it. I wanted to show you that I make bad plays or decisions. I get people that really expose me too. But the cover 6 match and basically match coverage is something you can master right now before you go into the next series of games. You understand the past responsibilities and what you're doing. It really does make you a better player. So you guys, stay tuned with my channel. I'll be posting some different offensive tips recently of some plays I really liked out of the Green Bay Packers playbook. I'm taking a look at the Jets playbook right now. I've got a scheme I've got set up, but I just really not settled into it. So wanted to thank you once again for your support, guys, and until next time.